Okay, guys, look, if you've been offered a professional contract, instead of going to the field, if you can get out the door and turn left, go sign that contract for me. And if you haven't been offered a contract, just go out the door, turn right as normal, and go warm up, please. Marmot, if you'd been offered a professional contract, you'd know, mate. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Grindavik on the Impossible Dream. It is Season 4, Episode 10, and today, as a professional team, we will face Red Bull Salzburg and Malmo. Red Bull Salzburg at home, Malmo away in Sweden, of course. I think it's Sweden, Malmo, yeah, I'm sure it is. And what I wanted to catch us up on before we get to those games, obviously our season is finished now domestically. There's nothing to catch you up on. We are champions once more. If you missed that last episode, completely backdoored that one, didn't we? And anyway, what I wanted to show you was the players that we have offered full-time contracts for. Now, I've listed all the main guys on the Discord. It's linked to that in the description below. But yeah, you'll notice there are some big wages here. There's a few other players I think we've offered full-time contracts for that are sort of more prospects, but as amongst sort of the first-team players, I think the big contracts we've given out are for Kike Viva, who I think is going to be very good. He's on over $1,000 a week. Capiello's on over $1,000 a week. Stefansson actually only wanted £750 a week, which is brilliant, so we've signed him up. The other ones, Antonsen is on $1,000 a week. Sayas is on over $1,000 a week, and Rocky is on 1.2. So all in all, you know, we've been able to keep the wages relatively low down, and well, you can see everybody else there. I'm hoping you can see here. There's a lot, especially at the top with the lesser wages, a lot of future prospects, breakthrough prospects there. I'm hopeful that they are going to very much it's going to help their development, basically. So yeah, really happy with the full-time contracts that we've done. And yeah, the main two that aren't going to be offered are Marmot and Oskarsson. I have offered Huggins a deal relatedly, he just hasn't accepted it yet. So that is that. But anyway, we have a quick update of the finances, more so the wage budget. You can see we have 34 grand essentially that we can offer, and we've already only done committed to spending with Huggins agrees his deal 18,000, sorry. So we've still got quite a bit we can use in the off season. Now, one other thing that has happened is we've signed a player. So it's another goalkeeper, a 25-year-old. Let's go with Icelandic international. He has a cap, and I think he's better than. I think he's good. I think he's going to be quite good for us. He is sort of the now guy because Bjornsson he's just past it, I think, and Origi obviously is going back to Leeds, and I don't think Mortensen is still not quite ready yet. He really needs to. We're going to play him in cup games. We need to get him a little bit better at development, and it should happen now that we're full time, of course. Now his career to date is as follows. He basically spent a lot of time in France. He came from Afterrilling, went off to Reading, spent a little bit of time in England, never really played a season in League Two, it looks like, and then a season in League One. But went off $500,000 to France and didn't really play that much. So yeah, he needs to play. Hopefully he's going to do that with us, and we'll get ourselves a good Icelandic goalkeeper out of it. But that is everything caught up on from last episode. Let's go and have a quick look at what we're doing here against Red Bull Salzburg. It's the first time I think I felt coming into a game in Europe, sort of the non-qualifying part of Europe, that I think we have a chance, mainly because we're at home. Red Bull Salzburg are obviously a decent side. They're 26 currently in the table, and this is the team we're sending out. So Origi in goal. Koller is going to get the game at left back. He is our young academy kid. We know that Marmot is leaving. This guy, whenever he's come off the bench or whenever he's started, he's never done badly. So no doubt this will be the day he does, but I'm curious to see how he gets on. It'll be Monte, Adel Steinson and Huggins as the rest of the back four. Sayas, Haukson and Capiello in midfield. Viva and Rocky are the wide players. Karasson is the deep lying forward. The reason there's a couple of maybe strange selections there. Cresswell is suspended. Turpitson is injured, which is not ideal for him. And the other one that is suspended is Stefansson as well. So that's the team we have. Let's hope we can get a good result here. And of course, another thing that could give us hope is I don't have the Austrian league loaded up. Now, we saw against Shakhtar Donetsk that actually we were able to beat them. So we'll see how we go here. A couple of Omar Soleil, we had him somewhere before. I want to say Brentford. So he's a name familiar to, and Lucas Susic, we had him at Brentford as well, I think, did we? So there's a couple of familiar names if you've been with the channel for a little while. We've got nothing to lose here, show what we're capable of. Let's just say there's no pressure on you here, boys. Let's get out there and let's see if we can get a first point in European competition. Now while we're waiting for the game to get underway, I do have to thank a new channel member, Alex Cazora. I think I've got that wrong, but anyway, would you expect anything less? Seriously, though, thank you so much, mate. Greatly appreciated. There's a little join button below me just there for the channel membership. If you're interested, there's also obviously a link to the Patreon down in the description. A beautiful shot of the roof of the National Stadium. So yeah, I mean, as I've said many times, it's not expected at all, but if you do enjoy the content and you are able to, it is greatly appreciated. It just helps me basically be able to keep doing this a little bit longer than otherwise I would be able to without it. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, everybody, for that. But let's go and see what we can do here. We are sort of, as I said, our season has ended, so we're in a situation now where we're going to be playing a lot of friendlies, trying to keep players fit, ready to go to then play in Europe. So that's not ideal, but training full-time is obviously going to help us massively. And yeah, so we'll just see how that goes. Now, we are doing a final call for Viewers Player of the Year nominations. Capiello, oh, so close. So yeah, if you haven't already, if you have nominated and you've got somebody else you'd like to nominate, Origi has made a couple. I tell you what, Origi's done very well. I don't vote in Viewers Player of the Year, but I think he'd be worth a nomination, to be honest. He's done quite well for us. But yeah, just let me know who you would like to nominate. I don't like to influence. I shouldn't have said that. I don't like to influence the nominations. But yeah, we'll be voting on that next episode ahead of the end of season awards for the episode after. Thank you for all the feedback too on whether we use the data editor to sort of properly edit the names instead of nicknames, and also how we do Europe. I know there was someone who said they'd like to see us beat Rangers. But that's not going to happen this season. Oh, I thought that was in because we're away from home. So when I think we can beat Rangers, we'll show it. But it seemed the general consensus was it was always a 50-50 split between nicknames are fine and just use the editor. I think the difference, and I tend to feel the same, is that when you use the editor, you feel people, if you don't like it, you feel strongly about it. Whereas people who were saying use it, which is the sort of the feeling I got was that like it wasn't a big deal either way. So I think that being the case, and I'm sort of more in the using the editor does kind of feel a little bit wrong, and nicknames are fine at the end of the day, aren't they? So I don't think we're going to do that. And in terms of yeah, what we're going to do, I kind of agree. I don't want to draw seasons out, because at this point of the series we're not really competing in Europe. Whereas later on we want to get further. You know, the further we go into things, then the more competitive we'll get. The issue, what do we say to this? Unlucky so far. Let's go out there and make it happen. The issue is that it's partly a time issue, being that this would normally be the off season. So I'm kind of looking for transfers as I play through the sort of 2-week gap between games to rush through it sort of more than games that I think we could win. It's basically just going to take too long. It's going to be the equivalent of doing a summer transfer special, essentially. So I think what I'm going to do is not show the Rangers game, but oh, Collar's been beaten quite badly there. Can we get players back? Watch the man in the middle, please. It's cleared away. Yeah, so I'm not going to draw it out and sort of show games that I don't think are any chance of, just for the sake of showing a European game. Here we go with Carrison. Can he pick a pass? He's got a decent vision on him. It's there for the back post! Oh, Rocky! I thought that was the moment, and it's just not quite proven to be. All right, Collar is at least, this is probably the first time he's not looked particularly comfortable, so let's get Marmot on out there. Marmot has done quite well for us. He's about to miss a header here, isn't he? Monte gets that header clear. And well, we've not been the better team here, but we've competed, which is nice. Oh, that is crossbar coming to our rescue. Now Marmot over a free kick. Now he's not bad from a set piece, you know. Can Marmot do something brilliant from this? He's taken his time over it. Here we go. Marmot! Oh! Not a mile away, that one, was it? You will notice, too, there's some youngsters on the bench. They're more just filling out numbers right now. We'll give them some praise. We've done quite well here. I've got to say, it's not been a great game necessarily to watch, But we are about, and we have got our first point in European football. It's a 0-0 to Red Bull Salzburg. It'll be forever remembered. That's the first point we got. But that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And with that point, if we go and have a look at the league table, we jump up to 29th. So that is very nice. The next game we face, of course, is Malmo up there in 19th. So, I mean, if we can win that, top 24, you never know. So Red Bull made Taru miss chances. Let's be honest, we were completely outplayed there, weren't we? We had the 1 or 2 chances second half, but nothing too much. Origi with 10 saves has done very, very well. And I don't think we don't have an option to sign Origi. I don't believe we do have an option. No, I don't see it there. Anything there. We do have an option to sign Ajani Birchall for, I think, 250 grand. I don't know that I want to spend that sort of money just yet, but the option is there for us. Anyway, we're right there. We'll be back to face Malmo momentarily. Okay, welcome back. Now, we're getting ready to face Malmo, and we've got, well, 1 or 2 spinners in the works here. The first is Johan Marmot. His contract is up. I wasn't going to offer him a new contract, of course, forgetting. I'm still not going to offer him a new contract, but he's here basically as an out-of-contract player because I don't want to offer him a new contract, but I also kind of want him for the rest of this European campaign because he's already registered in the squad, of course. So that's a little bit, he could leave at any moment, which is not ideal, but that's what it is. And the other thing that has happened is that our goalkeeper has announced his retirement, Bjornitsen, which is absolutely fine. This is him here. He's 37, you know, it's not like it's unexpected. But of course, with Origi's, I'm not sure exactly when his loan does expire. It might leave us quite short on the goalkeeping department for Europe as well. Origi's contract is due to expire not till the new year. So we are going to have, was that the 1st of, so that's the 1st of February. So we're going to have, no, that's going to get us to the end of Europe, isn't it? So that's fine. So we don't have to worry too much about that then, which is good. But let's go and have a look and see what we are doing here against Malmo. We're expecting a 4-4-2 out of them. Now, I was tempted to change the formation. I'm not going to do that. Now, in terms of players unavailable, Huggins has picked up a suspension for this one, and Bagley, who probably we wouldn't have started, but he might be on the bench. He's injured as well. So it's Origi in goal. It's Marmot getting the start. Collar didn't quite do it for us in that last one. Monte, Adel, Stoichson and Cresswell will be the back 4. Sayes, Halston and Capiello in midfield. Viva and Birchall are the wide players. We've got Rocky playing up front. The reason for that, Stefansson's got himself it's a tight hamstring, I think it was, or a tight thigh. It's a tight muscle anyway, so I don't want to risk him. If he's not fit, he's probably not going to play well. So we'll stick Rocky up front, see how he does as a striker. When I've tried him there before, he's not done brilliantly. Maybe he just likes the big occasion, though. All right, so we can see the team sheets there. Do we recognize any names? There's a couple of names that look kind of familiar, but I don't really know where from. But anyway, let's have a look here and see what we are doing. Nothing to lose here, show what we're capable of. I can get on board with that away from home, I think. We'll pump our fist, go out there and make me proud, boys. And let's see what we can do. All right, and here we go. Yeah, I was tempted to, with the 4-4-2 out of them, to go a little bit different and play sort of the four across the back. The issue with that is that would mean playing 2 up front. We've already seen that we've got an injury to Stefansson. I think Karason's injured as well, which is why he isn't on the bench there. So it just didn't quite work out in terms of where we would play everybody else. We would have had to go on with maybe Viva or Oskarsson, one of those guys that says they're a striker, but really they got finishing of -7, so it doesn't really make sense to do that. But it does mean we're going to be sort of more man for man at the back, which is maybe not ideal. But away from home, let's see what we can do here. We've got a corner to defend nice and early on, and we've done that. Birchall, Ajani gets there first, plays it down the line, nicely done to Viva. Viva, is he going to find him back? No. Was looking decent for a moment there, though, wasn't it? The other thing we could look to do here is try and boss the midfield a little bit more and push Sayas up, though we should still essentially have the 3 men in midfield. There's a man over there, and Origi can't stop it. And we are 1-0 down early on, which is not what we wanted or needed or anything else. This man here, Namaso, just drifted a little bit, and they've got a man coming in from the back post. I'm going to say that's probably Cresswell's man. And, yeah, well, there we go. Not the best marking will do, is it? And we've got another free kick to defend. This one is going to be a penalty, is it? Yes, it is. Perfect. And, well, we're going to check with VAR, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be a penalty. There'll be no reason to stop it otherwise. Overturn it, ref. Come on. No, he's given it. Well, there we go. Let's hope that Origi can make a big save against Torre. Otherwise, the game is already looking like it might be gone. Oh, he can! Origi! And Cappiello just hacks it into the fans behind the goal. And now we've got a corner to defend. Can we go and do this? It is away. It's a decent header away there as well. Adel Steinson can't quite get the danger clear, and it comes back in, and again it's just wide. So I'm beginning to look at the way this game is trending and thinking maybe we do need to change the formation up a little bit. Oh, Cappiello. A defence splitting pass from Cappiello. And that is not what we needed from our highest paid player, arguably our best player. And look at that. Perfectly on a plate. I mean, that is match fixing-esque, isn't it? That is horrible. We'll give him a berating after that, because that's just not good enough. I mean, we're doing okay in terms of possession, but we're not really creating anything again here. And here we go, Rocky over a free kick, and that wasn't particularly good. Another highlights. I mean, there's still time, so, you know, if we can get one back. Next goal's important, isn't it? Birchall does well there. Marmot, back to Ajani Birchall. Can he get across into the box? Rocky is lurking. Cappiello. Cappiello, have another go, mate. Cappiello, you definitely owe us, mate. Cappiello! Oh, what a goal! Flavio Cappiello. That it doesn't make up for the goal that he gave away, but it goes some way towards it, doesn't it? It's a wonderful strike. First time pass didn't quite work out. Out of the way, Marmot. He just keeps going and going and going, and that is one of those shots that not many goalkeepers are getting anywhere near. So we've got ourselves back into the game, thanks to Cappiello having temporarily put us out of it. And we've got another corner to defend. Let's again hope we're able to get the job done here, and it is just past the post, but ultimately I suppose we got the job done there as well. Birchall has picked up a bruised foot, which is not ideal. Yeah, that's slightly problematic, actually. I'm going to say... Do we say unlucky so far? I mean, we gave away a penalty as well. We're going to change things up, though, because this just doesn't feel like it's working how it should. Okay, so we're making two changes, a change of formation as well. Antonsen is coming on for Birchall. Cresswell goes off for our Cameroonian, who's a little bit more natural as a wing-back. So those are the two changes. We'll see what happens, won't we? Viva goes as a deep-lying forward. Don't think he can do it, but we'll only find out one way, won't we? Let's go out there and see what we can do. We'll fist pump now and tell them we've got faith in them. And... yeah, I mean, this is, as I say, borderline how I was going to start at the game anyway. The issue, of course, as I say, was the two injuries to Stefansson and to Karasson. It just didn't quite give us the striking options I would have liked to have had. But anyway, 2-1, we're in the game. And we'll see if we can go and get an equalising goal here. 2 points in this episode would be absolutely fine. You know, because we're talking what we're... oh, Cappiello, I thought he was going to do it again there. What we want at this stage of the series, of course, is Marmot maybe should have done a little bit better there. We just about get away with it. Is we want to get, well, the money, obviously, that we had almost 200 grand, wasn't it, for the point we got at home. So we want that. But also it's about just building the coefficient point. So every point that we get is going to help towards that. And, yeah, so the more the merrier in terms of points we can get at this stage of the competition. Here we go with Cappiello. Gets it wide there for the Cameroonian. It's Viva. Back to the Cameroonian. Rocky's lurking. Rocky's lurking. He's got Fever with him as well. It's headed away. And are we going to get caught out here a little bit too far forward? Adel Steinson is back. Adel Steinson, can he stop the cross coming in? No, he can't. And it's a tap-in, essentially. And I've said it once. I'll say it again, I'm sure. We're just, at this point, not quite good enough for this level. Adel Steinson tried to win it, just got done by a bit of skill. And, well, the defenders in the middle weren't quite ready for that, were they? And that is that. We'll give them a berating. Adel Steinson's not playing well enough. We don't really. We could bring on Triggy, I suppose, but he's not ready for this yet. The only other thing we could do, and given the state of the game, I think I might do it actually, is we'll take Adel Steinson off. We'll use Sayas as a halfback. And then we can... Good save from Origi. Okay, I know what I want to do, I think. Okay, so we've made 2 more changes. Sayas will drop back in. We've taken Adel Steinson off, who's on a yellow and not playing well. We've also taken Rocky off, who's not playing well. Stefansson's going to come on, injury or no injury. We've got not much to lose at this point. Allmarkson's going to come on as well. We're just going to sort of diamond things up a little bit more in midfield and just try and give us that extra man forward as well. So we'll see how this goes. And we've got really not too much to lose other than goal difference at this point. Origi, who is he's our best player, which is always worrying. And Capiello, who gifted them a goal, is our second best player. He did score a nice one himself, of course. Can we go and win this ball back? Monty does well to cut it out. He's a big boy, isn't he? All the way back to Origi, who lumps it upfield. We don't really have any height up there, so that's not particularly going to serve us well. Antonsen picks it up and gets it forward again. And this is not really what we need to do, guys. And unsurprisingly, we've been caught out at the back, and it might well be a second penalty. And I don't see anywhere there where it says lump ball forward, which is annoying. But anyway, in fact, I think it pretty much says the opposite to that. But that just suggests that we don't really know what we're doing, doesn't it? Yeah, penalty. This time it goes in the back of the net. Now Masteo has himself a hat-trick. And I think this scoreline is a little bit harsh on us, if I'm honest, but doesn't matter what I think, does it? Yeah, we've just not really shown up today. We don't want to see that again. I'm getting annoyed. We're all looking anxious and disenchanted and all those sorts of fun things. And I mean, look at that match momentum. We briefly got ourselves back into it, but we have been completely outplayed here, and that is a shame. So don't forget to go and nominate your Viewers Player of the Year. Of course, we will be voting on that next time out. That was not good enough. We find ourselves down there in 31st, -8 goal difference from 4 games. It's getting a little bit like I feared it might. So youthful Grindavik come unstuck. I slam the team. We've got the Kenya boss looking at Origi. And so that will do it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you next time for the new year. Over the page we go. It'll be Utrecht at home, where we might get something. Astana at home. If we're going to win a game, that's going to be the one, isn't it? Until next time, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.